Oh, hello everybody, and welcome to IRL. This is, I'm trying to think what track it was then. It's round 5, Canada, and Lordy MK back again. Sorry if I seem a bit downbeat today. I'm currently suffering with illness, so if I don't sound as upbeat or as energetic, then you know why. It might be a bit more of a mellow stream today. Just because I'm recovering slightly. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing alright. There's rain already on the circuits. I think people are going out on the soft compound tyre to try and get a lap in. We've got Lewis Curtis out on the inters. So a few drivers opting for the intermediates. That doesn't look like the right decision at the moment. Lewis Curtis looking very, very slow out there on track. But we shall see where people are, as we've got Haas just about to start their lap. I believe it's Lickle Blocks, so we'll go on board with good old Blocks and just take the tyres off just to see. There we go. Gives a bit more space on the screen for the lovely Haas. And see, we've had a few cars that have been revealed in 2022, which have been nice. My personal favourites have to be the Ferrari and the Aston Martin. I don't know what you guys, I think the Mercedes is quite a split opinion, the Williams is quite a split opinion, the AlphaTauri looks exactly the same as the Red Bull, and the Haas is quite a split opinion as well. And the McLaren, completely forgot about the McLaren. McLaren I think is quite a split opinion. But yeah, this qualifying session could be over quite quickly if these drivers get a few soft laps in. As you see yellow flags in Sector 1, I think that's an Alpine that's spun. It is tricky conditions, so you've just got to be careful out there before it gets too rain soddened. But yeah, here we go. Lickle Blocks to lead us down the main straight. There are a few drivers looking to finish the lap as well. We've got Ushin on that lap who's starting as well. Any lap times as we cross the line. There is a Ferrari that's going to cross the line as well. But Lickle Blocks has looked pretty solid from him so far. We've got DRS enabled as he's going to cross the line to set a 1:16.5 as Toxic Tomato has retired from the session. I think he's crashed. As I'll go on board with Ushin just to see if we can get a glimpse. Yep, there is a glimpse. As Ushin actually invalidates his lap. Taze Leroy with a 15.6. And Bugatti with a 16.5 on the sets of softs. So very, very good from these guys so far. Solid lap times as Lickle Blocks has gone. Keep it out the wall. Oh, bloody hell. Smashed right into the barrier there. Yeah, so a lot of people struggling in these conditions. Bran Glover, he's normally up there in the championship, so let's see where Bran can position himself. But yeah, not many lap times being set at the moment, as Bran's looking quite solid. As Charlie goes in the McLaren, goes second place with a 16.3, that's a very impressive lap time from him. Let's see where Bran goes. Obviously Cam's out, so Cam will be starting from the back of the grid. And here's Bran Glover. Oh, he does well to keep it out of the wall there. Good old Brant. He's going to cross the line to set a 16.6. So good, but not quite good enough. Maybe the track's getting a bit too wet. Sandre sets an 18.1. And I think that's going to be it for the session. Ushin invalidated his lap time. The track looks way too wet now, as he is sliding all over the place coming out of the second corner. Anybody else on any soft runs? We've got Bowl King on the mediums. Never should have gone on the mediums. Anybody else out on track? Jared Fosbury out on track. Yellow flags again. Is that Lickle Blocks? It is Lickle Blocks getting out of the way. So Ushin, as a Ferrari of Sondre, bites the dust in qualifying. We've got Ushin Miguel. Let's see what he can set. There's a lot of yellow flags. There's a McLaren that's spun as well. Is that Bowl King? It is Bowl King. We cycle back to Usher, who hopefully can finish his lap and not invalidate. But let's see what he's going to set. Will it be competitive? I'm not too sure if it will be. It looks too wet, to be honest, as Ushin boxes. So, yep, Ushin looks like he's already finished the session. Jared Fosbury on the softs. It doesn't look like it's going to be competitive as well. It looks like it's too wet. So the drivers who got their laps in, very, very good. The drivers who didn't, well, tough luck. As Jared is going to complete the lap, but it's going to be very slow compared to the rest of them. It's going to put him 10th, I think. Just put him 10th, and 18.5 from Jared. So yeah, that is well, that's it for quali. So there's your top 10 decided, guys. I don't think anybody else can improve. I could be wrong, but it looks too soddened out there for any improvements. So Bolking in 7th on the mediums. It's actually quite impressive considering the conditions that he is driving under. He is low on fuel, but is he going to finish this lap? I don't think so, judging by the time on the right hand side. But yeah, so there is your top 10. So qualifying is over as Bolking actually doesn't have a wing. I didn't even notice that. There's people like Lewis Curtis that are out on the softs. Maybe Lewis Curtis can upset a few people. Very smooth from Mr. Curtis. We'll stay on board with him. The number 2. Hopefully he can get back on the podium for today's race. As is the Haas off. Is that Ushin? That is Ushin just getting out of the way, people. As Sundre, somebody went up there. I think it was Kevin. 17.8 for Kevin, which puts him 10th. Luke goes 12th. That's his first lap. Oh, Curtis nearly hitting the wall. But he's going to cross the line. What's he going to set? Or was that his out lap? I'm so confused. I thought that was his actual lap. Maybe not. Didn't say out lap on the timings. Maybe invalidated or some sort of visual glitch. I'm not sure. But maybe he's going to go for 1 now. There's yellow flags in sector 2. As Curtis is scraping the walls, he's got to be careful. If there is a car off. And it is Luke 2 Red. Who is dead. Luke 2 Red bites the dust. Not the first person to crash in the session. And here comes Lewis Curtis. Yellow flag still in sector 2 for the caution of Luke, as he's now been cleared. As Jay Poudan and Jared do improve as well. So it is raining, but for some reason the softs still look alright. As Lewis Curtis, oh my god, Lewis Curtis had a massive moment coming out of the hairpin. Not too sure if he's gonna, well, he's definitely gonna improve, but not too sure if it's gonna be the greatest lap at the moment from Lewis Curtis. Oh, a bit hesitant going in, and actually gets invalid. But what was he going to set anyway? So he was going to cross the line to set a 1:16.0. So he actually would have gone second. Lewis Curtis would have gone second. Let's see if he pushes for this lap. I imagine he won't, but we'll see. Actually, he might have set it up for multiple laps of fuel. But it looks like he's already invalidated. There's a wheel. It's just chilling on the track. A soft wheel. People are chopping left, right, and center. Lucky TM with a 15.7. So very confused. The track's well, very wet. I imagine the track is cooling due to the wet weather conditions, but people are setting solid lap times. So I was wrong in terms of the conditions. It's Lucky TM goes P2 and takes Leroy, sets 15.0 just to really pee on everybody's parade. So Leroy, fantastic job there. P1 for Leroy. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, just have a look at everybody go around. Jay Poodan, I think, just invalidated going into turn 1. His lap's already over. But yeah, qualifying very interesting here in Canada. Tricky conditions as there's just wheels all over the place, all over the track. As we're now on board with Neon, as one of the Haas takes off the track to avoid. As Ushin's up there in P4 as well in the Haas. So, you know, all the besties there, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. So yeah, all doing a pretty solid job. Not too bad from them. It's nice to see Ushin hasn't lost any of his talent. They're in 4th place. Oh. Yeah, sorry for the lack of commentary. I'm really trying to gather my voice together. Struggling to speak. I'm trying to take minimal breaths, but I'm struggling to actually commentate. So, like I say, it will be a bit more of a chilled stream at the moment, as we see so many wheels just scattered out on the track. Yeah. I don't even know where we are. It's disorientated. Right, so, who's out on a lap? Lewis out on a lap. What's got Usher out on a lap? Lewis. Usher goes to 3rd place with a 15.5. A very impressive lap time. And we've also got, Curtis, who's got a 15.3, which is very impressive lap time. So people getting closer to Leroy around Canada. I think Leroy's going to go out again. Seems a bit threatened, I think, from the guys behind. I like the Bugatti Lickle blocks on a lap as well. So yeah, let's see what these guys can do. As Brown Glover hits the wall. Yeah, some people in the pit lane, just get out there and do a lap. Like, get out on track. I don't know why you're sitting in the pit lane. As we come into the latter stages of qualifying, a few people have retired. Some people not setting a lap, which is interesting. Not really too sure why. I think just get a lap on the board, get a bit of a feel for the track as well. As is there anybody going to challenge our Leroy? Alfie hasn't validated his lap, so his qualifying could be over. Ushin, he's on another lap as well. Also is Edward. Ushin's on his out lap. We've got Millam about to finish his lap. Where's that going to put Lewis Millam? So here he comes to the final chicane. Is he going to invalidate? No. Even in these tricky conditions, Lewis Millam will cross the line. Will it be pole for Lewis Millam? It's a 15.3. It's not pole. It's not even second for Lewis Millam. So decent effort, but not quite good enough. Ushin Miguel's about to start his lap as well. Edward Hart has invalidated, so I'm not too sure if he'll have enough time to finish his lap. And Alfie as well might just make it, but I'm not too sure if he's got the fuel to make it. Alfie has 7 seconds remaining. He should be fine to start his lap right at the last section, as the McLaren's actually binned it in the wall on the pit straight, so you just got to be careful of that. I'm just trying to see who's... Jared's invalidated. Delta, Jess have all finished. Kevin is on the mediums. He's the furthest one around, I think, as Ushin's wiggling all over the place. So Ushin, will he be improving? I'm not too sure. Let's have a look. Middle sector. No, he's 5/10 down in the middle sector. So only unless he has an absolute blinder of a last, he's not going to improve. Little Blocks has finished. Oh, the McLaren's around at the final corner, so just be careful there. We've got Alfie, who hasn't invalidated so far, but not too sure. Kevin starts 11th. Nexus is invalidated. Ushin's letting people go, so he's not happy on his lap. Lewis Millam, he's gone for another one. No, he hasn't. He's down on his time. Lewis Curtis, I think he's going to set a lap now. No, he's invalidated and he's hit the wall. It's all down to Alfioli. What can Alfioli do? The last man on the race circuit. Okay. Well, that's the end of quali. By the looks of things. I don't know if Alfie's going to set a lap time to finish, or it just suddenly cut off. Did Alfie improve at all, or just... No, Alfie down there in 7th, behind Charlie on the medium. So that's very disappointing from Alfioli. But Taze Leroy takes another pole position, which is fantastic for Taze Leroy. We've also got Laggy TM there in 3rd place. The weather is ever present, not just in the game, but in real life as well. Bottle King in the top 10. As I will run for the order quick. So Leroy on pole, Curtis 2nd, Millam 3rd, got Miguel, Ushin Miguel in 4th, we've got Little Blocks 5th, Charlie in 6th, 7th Alfie, 8th Nexus Iceman, 9th Bran Glover, which is quite disappointing from Bran as well, and 10th Bottle King. So yeah, not too bad qualifying sessions from people. Some surprise names up there. Hopefully the race can be dry and can be a nice fast race, a nice fast intense race. Just for my own sanity, because I've really struggled. Oh my god. But yeah, hopefully it's going to be a thrilling one. And we could have a fun time watching as well. Hopefully there's a lot of action to keep my brain engaged as we wait a couple of seconds for the guys to sort themselves out. As Laggy TM and Edward are disqualified. Right, okay. That's not a good start, is it? Right. As the people, the drivers, line up on the grid for the start of the Canadian Grand Prix. Here we go. I'm going to use a famous quote from another commentator that we've used in a different league, but we've got 1 red light, 2 red light, 3 red light, 4 red light, and it's pedal to the metal, go, go, go! As the drivers go into turn 1. Taylor Leroy gets a fantastic start, and look at Lewis Millam. I think he's going to take Curtis as well. Round the outside into turn 1. Lewis Curtis is under pressure, and he gets passed by Lewis Millam. Also, Ushin has had a horrendous start and dropped all the way to 6th place. That's awful from Ushin McGillis. Alfie's had a brilliant start, as Ushin's probably got a warning already for cutting the corner. As single file so far, no drama into turn 1 as we're going to cycle all the way down to one of the championship contenders. Cameron Young is going side by side with Sondre Sorhaug, and Sondre defends the position really well. Will Cam get past Sondre? Sondre will go defensive as Ushin loses another position to Charlie into the chicane, and Cam has to settle for 16th place so far as Ushin is losing positions left, right and centre. So Ushin is having an absolute mare so far. He's all the way down in 8th. Oh, crazy scenes as Jay Prudan and Sondre are battling away as Cam has gained loads of positions. So I think there's been a bit of an incident there, as I don't know if someone's gone wide or whatever, but Cam is all the way up to 13th as Luke 2 Red gets past Delta as Infinity's down there, already using a lot of ERS, but she's in last place out of the way. She's, as Taze Leroy says, the fastest lap of the race. So, it's been a pretty tame start from these guys. As Sondre, I think, has made a mistake. He's all the way down in 18th place, so I cycle quickly to Sondre. I think starting on the hard tyres was probably not the smartest idea in the world, but he does want to go long, as he already picks up a 3-second time penalty, which is quite incredible from Sondre. As he's going to cycle back to the front. As Little Blocks losing touch with the front runners, nearly a second adrift already. As Alfie is not too far behind in 5th, and we've got Charlie in 6th on the mediums. Bran has got past Ushin as well, so Ushin is having an absolute mare, as I'm just going to double check the tyres just to see what people are on. Jared and Kevin are having a nice bit of a battle there as Kevin accelerates past Jared. We'll see if Jared can answer back at all. He's using a lot of ERS deployment to get past Kevin, so really doesn't want to be stuck behind that Aston Martin, but doesn't choose to make a move going into the chicane. We've got bulking in the pits already, so that's probably for damage. As Jared is not going to go for a move either at the first turn. He's also under pressure from Toxic Tomato as Bran and Charlie are having a nice battle. As Bran has just got past Charlie, so good work from him. Lewis Millam picking up penalties, a lot of people picking up penalties actually, but Lewis Millam, one of the front runners, picking up a penalty this early on is quite detrimental to his race, as Lewis Curtis gets a nice onboard camera view of not just the Mercedes but the Red Bull ahead of him. Now hopefully this season we'll see the likes of Ferrari battling, hopefully not with Mercedes or Red Bull, but with somebody. It'll be nice to see Ferrari back on top, as Lewis Curtis does look at 1 with the whip so far. Not too good through the hairpin. I think that's where he's losing a bit of time compared to everybody else. But nonetheless doing a fantastic job as Infinity gets past Fly High. So really good job from Infinity, who is now up into 18th place. Alright, Millam with DRS, Curtis with DRS, Little Blocks just as DRS, but he's struggling to keep with Curtis at the moment, as everybody's picking up penalties left, right and centre. Little Blocks doesn't look at 1 with the car whatsoever. I don't think he's ever been a fan of Canada, and it does show so far, as he's trying to keep the gap below 1 second, but he's really struggling out there. He just doesn't look at 1 with the whip. Alfioli behind though, you know, he always looks at 1 with the car. Whatever track we're on, he always looks at 1 with the car. Look at the exit he's got from the chicane. Edward actually goes defensive. A bit worried that he's going to go for a move as his yellow flags. I think there's an Alpine of Jay Poudan who is spun round. Yeah, he spun round and hit the wall. Jay Poudan. Unfortunate for him. Maybe Lewis Curtis might go for a move as Alfie and Edward join the fray. Brand Glover, if they're going any slower, as there's a VSC for Jay Poudan. So every driver will have to slow down. I think it might be a good opportunity to pit. If you're one of the front runners, I think pitting could be an option under the VSC. It's quite an easy track to overtake Canada as well. So if you do pit, this could be a race winning strategy. Is anybody going to gamble and pit? Yes, they are. Lewis Curtis is in the pit lane. I like to see that from Lewis Curtis. That is sensational from Lewis Curtis. That's a really good move, I think, from Lewis Curtis. He's not really going to be held up by the guys behind because there's quite a big gap. He's going to put on a set of medium compound tyres. And if it's in the box as well, Brand Glover in the box. This is what we like to see. Pitting already. Cameron Young, will he overtake the likes of Lewis Curtis and Bran? He will. So Cameron Young in the fray. Anybody else coming out of the pit lane? Fly high. Sondre Sorhaug in the pit lane under the VSC as well. But yeah, I was going to say they're not going to be in that much traffic because the field is quite spread out already. And whatever traffic that they do come across, they're not in like a big train, so they should make up quite a few positions. I think that's a very smart move from Brant and from Lewis Curtis to pit under the VSC. As Taze Leroy gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. So Taze Leroy speeding under the VSC is now compromised, so it's blown the race wide open. As Cameron Young has retired, Cameron Young is out of the Canadian Grand Prix. I don't know how he's lost it there. Cam ball job once again, he's out. As Taze Leroy has to serve his drive-through penalty. So Taze Leroy could be out of this race. As he's going to be going through the pits, it's such a slow rate. He even might come out behind. No, I don't think he'll come out behind Lewis Curtis in that because he hasn't actually made a full-on pit stop. But it's not going to be too far off anyway. Taze Leroy, without making a pit stop, he isn't going to be too far off under the VSC. As Lewis Curtis goes down the inside of Loop 2 red as well. That's a sensational move from Curtis. And Curtis could be in a position to win this Grand Prix. Lewis Curtis, it could be redemption day for the Ferrari as he's picking off people left, right and centre. Lewis Curtis has clean air ahead of him for about 3 seconds. Fucking up. I don't smoke, I promise. Only on the weekends. No, I'm joking. Right, as Lewis Curtis is siding through the field as fast as possible. Delta trying to catch the likes of Taze Leroy, who's obviously had to serve his drive-through penalty. We've got the likes of Aspect Kevin doing a fantastic job on the mediums. He's probably looking to one stop also. Nexus Iceman is going to be coming under pressure from Kevin. Kevin's going to take to the outside line. I think he's going to get the move done as well. Yeah, Iceman just lets him through. So fantastic job from him. And it's our MCFC trying to get past the likes of Jared, but he's just not confident through the corners and going to be compromised as Nexus actually pits on lap 5. Usher Miguel makes a nice move on Charlie as well. As Lewis Curtis, he is in prime position for the race win. It's a sensational strategy call from Lewis Curtis. There's a long way to go in the Canadian, I can't think of the word then, the Canadian Grand Prix. As Infinity, will she get past Nexus? No, she will not. So she's still struggling down there in 15th place. Brand Glover not keeping with Lewis Curtis, which is surprising. As there's yellow flags, that's Taze Leroy. Taze Leroy has made a mistake. Taze Leroy is going from bad to worse for him. So he's currently in 12th position. He's made a mistake. Has he got damage? I'm not too sure. As he's going to let Luke 2 red past as well. But Taze Leroy is an absolute stinker here in Canada, and Lewis has been promoted to 10th place. Delta's had a bit of a mishap on the exit of the corner. If Lewis can get a good enough exit and use some ERS, he could look to take Delta right about now. He's not going to take him on this straight. I think he's going to wait to the start-finish straight, and then he's going to have a move. Little blocks also on the back of Lucky TM with Alfie there as well. Just cycling down the field as Charlie gets past. There we go, Lewis Curtis on the DRS straight, nice and straightforward. He's doing everything right here at Canada. It's sensational from Curtis, who's setting fastest lap after fastest lap. It's been a fantastic performance as Leroy has to pit. Obviously struggling with his tyres. As Ushin battling with the likes of Charlie. Charlie doing a decent job actually. He's on the medium tyres and he's keeping with Ushin. So Charlie really doing a fantastic job there in 4th place. A podium could be on the cards for him if he plays his cards right. Obviously on the alternate strategy as well. So he is definitely going to be a thorn in the top guy's side. He's currently 5 seconds off though. As Ushin out breaks himself into the hairpin. It's going to cost him some time as he nearly loses it on exit. But Lewis Curtis, it has to be said, he is the man to watch right now. NSR MCFC doing a good job as well. Down there in 8th place. Not too shabby. 2/10 off Jared Fosbury. Will he commit this time? He's always a bit shaky for the last couple of corners as people are in the pits. Ushin is in the pits. Who else is in the pits? We've got Bagato in the pits as well. So Bugatti may be looking to the undercut on the front runners. But where's Lewis Curtis going to come out? Look at where Lewis Curtis is going to come out. Lewis Curtis, miles up the road. Absolutely miles up the road. Bugatti's pit not just behind Lewis, but he's behind Bran as well. Lewis Curtis is up the road by quite a few seconds. Not in any DRS train whatsoever, which is fantastic for him. Clear air so he can just flex his muscles and go as fast as possible. You know, Lewis, if you win this race, maybe your girlfriend could treat you to a celebratory, you know, a celebratory cuddle. Yeah, cuddle. Yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. As maybe Lickle Blocks and Laggy TM are looking to pick this lap. Let's see what these guys do. Laggy TM, boxes, Lickle Blocks stays out. Interesting strategy choices from these guys. Lickle Blocks looking to stay out long on the soft compound tyres as everybody fits the mediums who have pitted. So, Laggy TM, he's obviously going to concede the position to Lewis as NSR MCFC's out. NSR MCFC, he's had an incident in the final corner. That's a safety car. That is a safety car. So Lewis Millam has been mudded. It's absolutely been mudded. Is he going to beat Alfioli out of the pit lane? I'm not too sure. Here we go. The safety car's there and Alfioli's there. So Lewis beats Alfioli out of the pit lane. But Edward Hart, I don't know if he's pulled a masterclass or not, but he must be chuffed with that. I think Lewis Curtis is still the winner during the pit stop phases. So essentially a free pit stop for Edward. I don't know where he's probably gonna join, hopefully ahead of Laggy TM. But I'm not too sure, as all the guys ahead are gonna pit apart from Lewis Curtis. Lewis Curtis will stay out on them set of medium tyres. But everybody else, I imagine, will pit. As Jess picks up a penalty under the safety car, which is interesting. As it's going to be a while before everybody joins the back of the grid. So, a bit of time for me to recover as Alfie and Bran swap places. I'm not too sure why that happened. Are they going to swap positions back, or did Alfie make a mistake? Or I'm not too sure what's happened there, but people are coming in. People are pitting. Everybody's in the pit lane. Let's see where Edward comes out, actually. As Curtis looks like he probably will take the lead of the race. Or is Edward going to take the lead of the race? I'm not too sure. I think Edward's taking the lead of the race, yeah? It's worked out in Edward's favour. Edward Hart is now leading the race. Alfioli stuck behind Brant. And I think they're stuck behind Jay Poudan's car as well. I think that's the big issue there. The AI going very, very slow. But yeah, we've had a bit of a reshuffle. Obviously the safety car coming out of nowhere as NSR bins it completely, which is not very good from his perspective, as Taze Leroy I think has been saved. Just got past the likes of Infinity, who's going to pit. She's up to 14th. Yeah, 14th place. I think she'll beat Sondre out. She will. So she beats Sondre and Bottle King out as well. It's just doing alright. Down there, Luke, yeah, still 12th, Delta 11th. Nexus still in the race, which is the main thing. Yeah, Ushin as well. You know, staying out was the better call, as Charlie's actually on the softs now. So Charlie's going to be the aggressor. Charlie's going to be the attacker. As we're going to have another lap behind the safety car. As I believe there's hoovering in the background. So let me just go and sort that out for 1 second. Yeah, I tried to do with the Hoover in the best I could. As I believe we're going to get underway. Safety car should be in this lap anyway. As it looks like it is, as Millam's going to absolutely bomb it. Not Millam, sorry. Jared's going to absolutely bomb it. Didn't pit under the safety car. Did Jared. So Jared leads us away. As Edward is behind. And Lewis Curtis is really close behind as well. So Bran, ignoring yellow flags, gets a 5-second penalty. Unfortunately, we'll have to serve that. I think that's because Jay Poudan's car is absolutely, you know, got in the way, basically, of the proceedings. As it looks like there's battles left, right and centre. Charlie on the softs is looking very aggressive, as you can imagine. As there's yellow flags down the order. I think that is Fly High, who's made a bit of a mistake. But yeah, we've got IRL Neon, Lewis Curtis. Oh my god, it was 3 abreast going to the hairpin. And they both got past him, so Jared has been absolutely mugged. Left, right and centre, and I think Millam's going to attack him now as well. So here comes Lewis Millam. Jared takes the inside line. And is he going to let him through? Yeah, he is. So Jared lets basically everybody through, so I'm not too sure why he stayed out in the mediums. If he's just going to give away the places. Oh my god, Alfie's made a horrendous mistake. And he's not just going to get passed by Charlie, he's going to get passed by Ushin as well. So Alfie maybe fighting a bit too hard for his position. Has ended up losing 2. There's Taze Leroy down there in 11th, looking to recover an absolutely appalling Canadian Grand Prix. As Liquor Blocks leads us away, is Bran Glover on the back of Jared. Oh my god. Contact between the two, maybe, going into the hell. Oh, Jared's gone! Oh, Jared Fosbury's out. Fosbury's out of the race. Oh, safety car. It's got to be hooks. Yeah. Bran and Jared fighting too close, and Jared is out of the race. No, there look to be contact going into the chicane. And I think Jared offline has just lit the rear tyres up and spun. So yeah, Jared Fosbury out of the Canadian Grand Prix. And another safety car. Hopefully this one will be a lot shorter than the other one. Will there be anybody to pit? I think Charlie will, to get off the softs. Yeah, that's good. That's a good call from Charlie. Get off them soft tyres. We've got Delta in as well. So Delta and Charlie, the 2 people in. I think Charlie got a bit of damage as well. So, he's put on another set of softs. So, he's actually been compromised. I think he's been saved by the safety car there, Charlie. But yeah, he did get a bit of damage, which is a shame. But yeah, safety car should be in this lap, because obviously we just recently had a safety car, so no, we're not waiting for Jay Poudan to go all the way around, hopefully. But yeah, we got the 3 L's leading the way. Lickle, Lewis and Laggy all leading the way with the Aston Martin safety car, which is gorgeous, by the way, let me just tell you. Look at that Aston Martin. Yeah, better looking than the F1 cars, to be honest with you. But yeah, interesting scenes as Jared bites the dust here in Canada. Right, sorry about that. I had a few mishaps with the Hoover downstairs, messaging a few people. Seem to have missed the restart, so I apologise about that. It's Taze Leroy actually does overtake his teammate, Nexus Iceman, for P8. And we do get back underway, as Edward Hart will lead us into the first sector and the first couple of corners. And now into sector 2. Hopefully no more mishaps and no more safety cars, so I don't think I'll be able to bear any more slow-paced action as Taze Leroy looks to overtake Kevin, and Kevin's an absolute sitting duck. I don't even think he's going to fight that, is he? Kevin just lets it go as it does start to rain here in Canada, so everybody on the mediums should be fine. Bran and Lewis as well. The mediums should last long enough for them to survive. They've had a lot of laps under the safety car as well, so tyre wear should be absolutely fine for all of these guys. As Taze Leroy also gets past Ushin, who's made an error, and he's actually going to get passed by Kevin and maybe Nexus as well. He's trying to keep his position, but Nexus I think might even go for it. No, he's not going to go for it. As Sondre's now up to 11th, who locks up completely and messes up his braking, and might be under threat from Bottle King. But yeah, let's go back up to the front, where Laggy TM looks to be eyeing up a move on Curtis. There seems to be action all over the place as Charlie gets past his teammate. I think that was a bit of team orders there. I was keeping an eye on it on the Delta. Can't keep changing to every battle though. Got to stay at the front sometimes. As Laggy TM, I'd like to see Lewis get a bit more aggressive. Sorry, I'd like to see Laggy TM get a bit more aggressive. I think sometimes he's a bit too passive on the racetrack and it can actually cost him. I think he has the pace to get past these guys. And I think he needs to eye up an opportunity and get this done. As Sondre gets past Luke 2 red for P10. But yeah, I think from Lewis's perspective, he's got a nice buffer to Bran Glover behind, who has lost touch with the leaders. So Bran clearly not on the pace here at Canada. So I think Lewis Miller needs to eye up, don't lose the rear like he did there, eye up a move on Lewis Curtis, and go from there. Obviously DRS enabled, so that's going to help Curtis probably have a go at Edward as well, if he gets close enough. But Curtis in changeable conditions doesn't seem to be the most comfortable driver. I think in the dry, as Edward picks up his first penalty of this evening, I think in the dry, Lewis Curtis, yes, he's very, very confident, but when it's mixed conditions, he does seem to be a bit all over the place. But I think he will have a go at Edward down the main straight. Down the main straight and the start-finish straight. I don't know if I'll have a go and overtake down the main straight, but he's definitely going to get close enough. Down to 4th, locks the front right on my screen. I think Miller did the same as well. But yeah, I think Curtis is going to eye him up nice and easy. Down the straights at DRS. As Edward actually uses quite a bit of battery to try and extend. Curtis not using any battery whatsoever, as he's actually going to peel into the pit lane for a set of intermediate tyres. So Curtis seems to think that it is intermediate tyres time. DRS has been enabled, not disabled, but Curtis seems to think that it is time, and so does Ushin. Bottle King has retired as well into Sector 3. That is the Wall of Champions. That could be a safety car. It is a safety car. So Bottle King bites the dust once again as Fly High carries on. Sondre's already on a set of intermediates, so he's just going to stay out. And here comes Ushin and Lewis Curtis. Lewis Curtis has actually lost it under the safety. Lost it under the safety car. We won't talk about that, Lewis. We won't talk about that. But Lewis Curtis basically with a free pit stop. So Curtis could be at the lead of this race by the end of this lap. But is it intermediates? That's the thing. Is it time for intermediates? It's make or break point for these guys. I'm not too sure if the inters are the right tyre. But let's see anyway. We can't really judge lap time as Ushin smashes into the wall. Is that not end plate damage for him? I think he's lucky to get away with no end plate damage if that's the case. I think everyone has to box anyway, regardless. Anybody going to gamble and stay out? No, Kevin's not. Nexus isn't. Neither's Charlie. Neither's Luke. So they're all coming in for inters. I think Fly High. He didn't pick the first time. I think you stay out, mate. Curtis is boxing again. He's boxing for another 7 inters. I think he's made an error then. Because Usher Miguel is going to leapfrog a few people. He's going to be up into 5th. 6th. Nearly 5th. Ushing into 6th. As Ushin picks up a drive through for speeding under the safety car. So Ushin's out of the race. And as the racing gets underway again, as there's already overtakes happening as Charlie gets past Nexus Iceman, as we were just on board with Alfie, see if he can make a move on Lewis Millam. You know, Alfie won last time the conditions were this wet at Silverstone. It was impossible to overtake that day, but is it impossible to overtake this day? Lewis Millam doesn't seem to be that confident in the wet weather conditions, especially on the wheel. He's a bit all over the place, but Alfie Ollie looking to absolutely capitalise the best he can with no penalties whatsoever at the moment, but definitely not the quickest through the corners being on the pad, as he actually scrapes the wall there, so you just got to be careful. There's yellow flags. Not too sure why. There's a few drivers down there, down the grid, who are suffering a bit in these conditions. Taze Leroy trying to keep with the front runners, but Lickle Blocks once again showing his pedigree and is racing away with the Oh my god, he's racing away with the Grand Prix at the moment. So, can Lewis Miller mount a challenge? At the moment, it is no. As Edward, he's doing a fantastic job. We've got Brian Glover, who seems to thrive in wet weather conditions a bit better as well. Looking quite solid out there in P5. Charlie, who's past Nexus Iceman, who's also up there as well. Doing a fantastic job in P number 6. So let's hope these guys can have a go at each other. Lewis Curtis doing a fantastic job of getting past Luke 2 Red there, and Sondre looks like he's going to have a go as well. Luke 2 Red, slow as a boat. I suppose being a boat in these conditions wouldn't be too bad, as he's going to go neck and neck with Sondre. He's actually smashed into Sondre, even cut the corner as Delta is going to get Sondre around the outside. That's a brave move. That's well done to Delta as Sondre and Luke make contact. And Jess actually gets past Fly High as well, so Jess has overtaken somebody into P13. Lewis Curtis, he's had a few mishaps, 100%. At this moment. Wow, this is a battle waiting to unfold. Sondre, he might not get one, he might get two actually going into turn 1 here. He's going to brake, he's going to lock up slightly. Delta's actually going to maintain the position around the outside. Sondre tries out there, but there's not a lot of traction in turn 2. These guys fighting hammer and tong for position. It's very exciting. So we're just going to stay on board with these guys for the time being as things happen, as Alfie actually slips away from the front guys. Nearly a second. Oh, he's actually brought it back. So he went from a second and now it's down to 6/10. So people making mistakes all over the place. As Delta goes up the inside into that chicane, there's contact again as Luke just doesn't want to give up any positions, but he's going to really be compromised there, as Luke 2 Red has not lost one but has lost 2 positions. Delta has gained 1 position, but he might also lose one. Sondre tries to go up the inside, but Delta sees it coming, and it's a good defence from Delta. Anything happening further up? Nothing really. I think the front 2 are scampering away. Alfie just doesn't have the pace at Canada. Don't know if he likes the track or not, but if I'm Alfie, I'd assert my authority and try and push a bit harder. He's picked up a penalty as well, so Taze Leroy looks like he's going to take the win if he doesn't get a penalty. After an awful start Taze Leroy has had, he's looking solid at the moment. Let me just check the interval once, I think he will nab it. If all the drivers finish, Bran will be taking second as well. So not very good from these guys at the moment with the penalty situation. But let's see how this unfolds. As Lewis has left the session, so has Lewis lagged out maybe? Yeah, Lewis Curtis has lagged out down there in P9. Poor Lewis. Bit of a shame for him, that. Edward Hart doing a fantastic job in first though. Alfie just can't keep with the front 2. Alfie Ollie off the pace here at Canada. As maybe Lucky TM's looking to eye up Edward. As Sundry gets past Lewis's AI car. I know it's difficult in these wet weather conditions, but I think Millam does need to eye up Edward as he looks a lot more confident through the hairpin than Edward at this moment in time. I think Millam really does need to push and go for it now. And Edward's using a lot of battery trying to scamper away. But he's just not getting away from him. Will Millam make a move? He looks quite hesitant on entry, but Edward's made a mistake. This could be Millam's chance. They're both going to use battery. They know it's do or die here. Millam versus Edward Hart. He's going to switch to the outside, then switch to the inside. Oh. Sundry and Dell are having a fantastic battle. These guys know how to overtake. The guys at the front not showing any signs of movement whatsoever. Lewis Millam, that was your chance. You don't get opportunities like that come once in a blue moon. These two drivers, these three drivers, if I just cycle back one as well, these three drivers have a personal vendetta against one another. You know, personal pride's on the line as Edward goes wide at the hairpin. Is that just to get a better exit maybe? He may compromise Millam, or is this going to allow Millam to get a good run down the straight and maybe attack him? Down into turn one, Edward Hart draining the battery. He's rinsing the battery to try and keep ahead of Millam. He needs a good exit. He looks a bit hesitant. Millam seems to have nailed it, but no, has a bit of a twitch moment on exit. And I think that might be game over for Millam. Or will he try down the inside? Not too sure. There's yellow flags in sector 3. Has this been a mishap? Maybe Delta's lost it, I think. Yeah, Delta's off. Even Lewis Curtis's AI car is going to get past him. So, yeah, unfortunately from Delta, I think he's going to have to pit. Just double check his front wing. I don't know, actually. I think his front wing's alright. If his front wing's alright, he will carry on. His front wing is fine. Seems to be really struggling for the hair, through the chicane, though. There's Lewis Millam. Piles on the pressure once again. On Edward Hart. The closest man to a barrel. Brand Glover is outside that 3-second window, so at the moment he'd only be getting third place. As Brand Glover actually picks up a penalty, so it doesn't even matter. So Brand Glover is out of the running for a podium. So at the moment, Alfie would be the only one missing out, as these guys get very, very close. Will anyone be putting the pressure on Edward Hart? I think it's time. It's hammer time. It's whatever time you want to call it. It's blocks time. It's Millam time. It's Ollie time. It's Ollie Ball. Hi everyone, it's Ollie Ball here. As these guys are just going in unison. 6 laps remaining of the Grand Prix de Canada. We've got 4 drivers in the running for the race win. Bugatti, Taze Leroy, Lucky TM, and Lickle Blocks. As Leroy picks up a penalty! Leroy picks up a penalty. That is a godsend for everyone. So Taze Leroy's going to have to do some overtaking now if he wants to be on the rostrum. Wow, that's really, really increased the severity as Delta is out of the race. That's not going to be a safety car. Please don't be a safety car, for the love of God. Don't be a safety car. It's not going to be a safety car. It's too late into the race. He's retired in the pit lane, I think, anyway, so good. As Jess Garrison moves up into into P12. There we go. Overtakes. As look at these guys now down the straight. Lewis Millam. He's got to make a move. He's got to make a move. Will Taze Leroy make a move? No, he's not close enough. Lewis Millam is all over the back of Edward Hart, but I think he's messed up the final chicane. He's not going to get the run he wants, as he needs to be careful on the ERS deployment. ERS is key in the wet. The usage is most important, as Millam is sideways out of turn 1, not once but twice on traction. 5 laps remaining in the Canadian Grand Prix. Is there anything left in the Mercedes of Mr. Millam, as Bugatti has been overtaken by Mr. Leroy, as there's yellow flags again in a certain section as Alfie's looking to try and get his position back, but he's not using any battery. I'm not too sure what's up with Alfie today. He seems a bit skittish as Ushin retires from the race, so Jess Harrison is one position away from a point. Alfioli just doesn't seem to be wanting it, and that allows Taze Leroy to get onto the back of Millam as well. So, 4 laps remaining when we cross the line. Lewis Millam, he's recharged his battery. He needs a good exit once again from the final corner. Brakes slightly earlier this time. Is he going to get the exit he wants? Edward, nice and perfect through that section, not allowing Millam to get any sort of run or opportunity in that current section. Taze Leroy looking to push now as hard as he possibly can to try and catch these guys and maybe make an impact on this race. It's been superb. It's been electrifying. It's been wet. Really wet. At the current stages of this Canadian GP. 4 laps remaining. 3.5 if you want to be precise. Or 3.25 if you want to be really, really precise. As Leggy TM, I think, has expired everything in his disposal. He can't seem to win a race. He's always second best, Leggy TM. He doesn't seem to be the man who's the top dog in any Grand Prix. He doesn't seem to be the man who can take the bull by the horns and make a spectacular overtake. He doesn't seem to be the man to have the raw pace on the day to seize victory from the front. Lewis Millam doesn't seem to be the one who you can rely on, the Valtteri Bottas. Can he prove me wrong though, as Alfie slips away from the podium places? So Alfie is really cruising now. I think he's just not got the pace. He's not been at the races today and he is out of the running. So Edward, Lewis and Lee, who will take victory? 3 laps remaining in this race. We've got lap 33, lap 34 and lap 35. We've seen movement all over the track, but it all comes down to the final couple of laps. Taze Leroy making a bit of an error, trying to keep with these guys up front, as Edward Hart is just preserving the battery. He said to me, do you know what he said to me before the race started? He says, Lordy, I'll see you at the end of the race on the podium interviews. That's what he said. And currently, if it all goes his way, he's not just going to be on the podium, he's going to be on the top step of the podium. As he's driven superbly so far. He's controlled the race from start to finish. He's got battery at his disposal to burn. Edward Hart doing everything in his power to maintain first place. Lewis Millam doing everything in his power to try and get Edward, and he's had a bad exit. Here's the opportunity. Lewis Millam is going to go down the inside going into turn 1. Here it is, the opportunity he was looking for, and that is tame. But Edward's off the track. Edward's off the track. Will he maintain first place? Oh my God, he's going to come on the track, but he's going to pick up a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting as he needs to get out of the way, and Lewis Millam's going to take the lead. Lewis Millam takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Will Edward have a go back in? He has a 10-second time penalty. He may go down the inside into the chicane. Oh, there's contact. He's pushed him wide. He's pushed him off. They're 3 abreast. They're 3 abreast. They're going to be 4. Alfioli out of nowhere comes. Oh, Alfie's nearly lost it down the street. Oh, and Brand's there as well. Crazy scenes here. I think Leroy's made contact with the barrier. But Lewis Millam, Lewis Millam takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Absolute scenes here. Edward, will he challenge Lewis down into the hairpin? No. Lewis Millam, as Bran is getting all cosy with Taze Leroy into the hairpin, and also Alfie's had a good exit. He's going to have to attack the Aston Martin. Oh my God. Absolute scenes from these guys as Alfie's going to go around the outside. Who's going to back out? It's going to have to be Alfioli. Alfioli does back out. Will he get a good exit going into the final couple of corners? I'm not too sure if he will. Let's see what he can do. Brian's going to cover the inside line, but here comes Alfie around the outside using all the deployment at his disposal. Bran, he's not going to make the corner. Oh, Bran's really shoved him out wide. Alfie, shove him out wide more. As Bran's going to maintain the position, but he actually turns into him and smashes into Alfie. So Bran maintains the position, but Laggy TM crucially takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. It's given him the motivation he deserves. As Alfie's not lost 3 positions, he's now lost 4. Oh, Charlie's now got him on this lap as well. So Charlie out of nowhere could be on the roster. I don't know what's going on. Crazy scenes as Alfie's actually overtaking Charlie, who's made an error. Charlie's made an error on the final lap of the Canadian Grand Prix. It's all kicking off. There's Edward Hart, after getting a 10-second time penalty, tried to lunge it down the inside of the middle, made contact. There were 3 wide. Leroy gets shoved into the wall. And now Bran is in 4th place, looking to try and take maybe a rostrum position, but I can't come on board with this man. He's always been second best. He's always been the man just finishing off the top step of the podium, but he has 2 corners remaining in the Canadian Grand Prix. In the scarlet black Mercedes, Lewis Millam takes victory here in Canada as Edward spins out of the final corner, and as Bran, Ann and Lee take the further podium positions. What a fantastic race, as Charlie's going to pick up 5th. As Edward has a 10-second time penalty. He's actually going to reverse. He's actually going to lose more positions if he keeps reversing. So Edward, I don't know what you're playing at, mate. I think he's realised the error in his ways as Sondrick's actually pitted on the wet tyres. But what a Canadian Grand Prix. Here are your top 3 drivers. Laggy TM finally gets the break he well and truly deserves and wins in the miserable rain of Canada. Taze Leroy, after a miserable race, gets P2, and Bran Glover, he didn't have the pace all week. He didn't have the pace all race. He just was there, and he just somehow gets a podium. So well done to Bran in the Aston Martin once again, finishing on the rostrum. Wow. As we're going to have a look at the standings just to see as Bran gets driver of the day. I don't know, there was a lot of things going on. I think Edward Hart ultimately bowled it, and Lewis Millam did everything right. And well done to Laggy TM, who takes victory in Canada. Wow. Very interesting race. Canada always brings up spices with penalties, incidents, and racecraft as well. So, yeah, congratulations to Lewis Millam. Fantastic performance, and congratulations to the other guys as well, as it's absolutely belting it down here where I live. You can probably hear it. But there you have it. The only driver not to get a penalty was Kevin in the top 10, and he actually gets P6. So a very good day for Aston Martin, 3rd and 6th. AlphaTauri will be seething as they pick up 4th and a DNF. We've got Mercedes-Benz Petronas picking up a 1st place and a DNF, so not too bad day at the office. McLaren picking up some good points in 5th. Red Bull also, very good day. Taze Leroy 2nd, and Nexus Iceman in P7. But there you have it, folks. The Canadian Grand Prix at its finest. It's been a fantastic job from these guys, and I will invite them now. So bear with. We'll have a bit of an intermission, a couple of minutes, and we'll get the drivers in. Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm joined with just the race winner for now. I don't know if the other guys will join on the rostrum, Taze and Bran, but I'm joined with the race winner, Laggy TM. So you're going to get an extra long interview if these guys don't join. First of all, congratulations. Yeah, it was a good job from yourself. Some brilliant battles out there, capitalised on every opportunity. Just tell us how you're feeling.
I don't really know what to say, but it was a bit of a crazy race. 2011 Canada flashbacks. It had everything: trees, safety cars, rain, dry. But yeah, a lot of focus for Clyde. And to be honest, I didn't think I was going to get it towards the end. I knew I was quicker in the wet, but I couldn't get the exits out the hairpin. So I knew I had to try and put them under pressure through the final chicane. And I did it a couple of times, and obviously it worked. It worked the second or third time. It worked and got alongside him, Edward, and he went wide because he broke too late. So yeah, just tried to keep my cool, especially during the last two laps, especially with the dive bomb and all the shenanigans that happened. But yeah, a bit crazy race.
Just before we touch on the race, I know mentally there's been a bit of a battle with a few other drivers. Alfie and Leroy and Edward. They were doubting your mental fortitude during these races, and how does it feel to not just put to bed these comments, but do it in a fair circumstance? You weren't lucky out there. You were, you did your race. You were probably the fastest out there on track, and you really silenced a lot of the critics. So do you have anything to say to these drivers, or are you just gonna carry on the way you're going?
It did annoy me a little bit with some of the comments, and I wanted to say things, but I thought, we'll do it in silence and we'll show it on the track. As to who can keep the cool head, and a lot of people, have been running their mouths this season about me coping under pressure and bottling it, but I kept my cool under the hardest conditions you can race in, while others bottled it and were absolutely nowhere. So yeah, I think people need to keep their mouths shut until the job's done, to be honest with you.
No, fair point. I think, like you say, it's been a challenging season for all. I think some people have capitalised on opportunities that maybe shouldn't have come their way, and some people have been very unlucky in situations. But today, I think you and Edward were the only drivers really who had it, not luck way. You both had very, very good pace, but we all saw what happened at the end. Just take us through, the final couple of corners, the final lap especially. Obviously, you did go for the move on Edward down the inside. Was there any contact made into that turn one? Did you push him wide, or did Edward naturally drift wide? I know he got a 10-second time penalty for cutting the corner, and I know there was further contact at the third chicane as well. So just run us through the final lap from your perspective.
Well, I knew I got a better exit out of the hairpin, so I could, just deploy all the airs down the back straight and put him under pressure into the final chicane. And I saw him go deep on entry, so I knew this is my chance, and I had to really get the power down at the final chicane off the Roller Champions. And to be honest, I don't think there was any contact, and I braked as late as I thought was possible. I didn't think there was any, if I'd have broke any later, then we're both going off. And he just carried on braking, and I was sat there and I was thinking, there's no way he's making this corner. It's not, especially in the wet, it's not doable. And yeah, he went wide, and yeah, he was respectful with giving the position back, and so was Lee, to be fair. He didn't, really tried to take advantage of it. And then obviously through the chicane, it was a bit of a different dive bomb, if you know what I mean. I knew it was, I could see it behind me, but I didn't think he was really going to send it. I thought he was going to be a bit more respectful with it, considering I thought I was quite respectful behind him. Didn't send any, stupid lunges when I could have. And obviously made contact, and he nearly pushed me off. And then yeah, it went 3 wide. I just had to try and keep my cool, get a good exit out the corner, and just try and maintain it, which I did. And then it was just, taking I knew I had the pace, so I just had to just get a little bit of a gap, and then just try and get to the finish line without getting a penalty or losing any time. Could really affect everything.
Yeah, just like you just touched on there, the incident with Edward, it provided a lot of entertainment from my perspective. I think when people watch it back, they will gasp at what he did. It did look very emotional, very desperate attempt to try and hinder your race more than anything. He did launch it up the inside. Bearing in mind, he did have a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, so he was going to gain nothing from doing that. Yeah. And I think from, if I'm you, from the perspective of yourself, I think you have every right to be concerned. Luckily, it went your way today. and you ended up being on the top step of the podium, but it easily could have ended in tears. And I'm just fortunate that he didn't, for your sake, because I thought you drove a very good race. And Edward finished down in about P9, so I think Edward, apart from that little incident, drove superb, but I think it just got to his head a bit right at the end. And I thought you drove fantastic. I'm just going to touch on the next race, which I believe is Austria, if I'm not mistaken. I will just double check that, because my phone needs to load. But it should be. Let me just double check. Yes, it is Austria. I was correct. So Austria, what are your thoughts on Austria? And have you got any plans to repeat the performances today?
I do like Austria. I don't know if I'll be racing, which, it baffles me still because, someone else got a seat today that, I've never heard of, who's never turned up, and, I'm fighting for a title here. And I've still got the reserve spot, and, I'm proving that I can fight at the front, and I'll turn up every week, and I'm motivated, so hopefully I'll race. I am baffled that I haven't got the seat over, a couple of people who I've never heard of before, never turned up, and are nowhere near. So that does puzzle me a bit, but hopefully I get my chances, because I genuinely think if I keep my head, I can fight for this title.
I'll put it this way, just to close off the stream. Alfie was first, Bran was second, Lee was third, and you were fourth. Obviously today you finished first, Lee finished second, Bran finished third, and Alfie finished fourth. So the ideal situation for the championship, Lewis Curtis has had too many bad performances at the moment, who seems to have drifted away from the championship, especially after today getting another DNF performance, and Sondre doesn't seem to be anywhere close either. So the championship's really been separated now by you four. Who will win? We're not too sure. You both had a mixed bag of performances, I believe. I believe you've all got race wins now, so every driver has had a race win. Every driver, apart from Alfie, has either had a DNS or a DNF. Obviously, you had your DNF at Monaco. Lee's had 2 did not starts at Britain and Japan. And, Bran has finished every race as well, but had a disappointing performance in Portimao. But it's really heating up. Obviously, I'm not too sure. I don't think you will jump anybody in the championship at the moment, but it's definitely closed the gap to Alfie, who's currently in the lead on 74. So, last thing I'll say to end off the stream, congratulations on your P1. It's a shame we didn't get the opinions of the other drivers as well, because I really wouldn't have liked to have seen their perspectives, especially at the final lap. But yeah, is there any last words you'd like to say to anyone before we end off?
Nothing much really, just don't judge a book by its cover and don't speak too soon, I guess. It's the moral of the story. So yeah, hopefully good, rest of the season.
Fair enough, nice and short and sweet. But yeah, it's been Lordy MK for another IRL stream. Hopefully next week I can be back to full fitness and we can go from there. But yeah, it's been a fantastic Canadian Grand Prix. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely one of the most enjoyable races on the calendar that I've seen. And congratulations to everybody on the podium, and commiserations to everybody who fought for the podium but unfortunately didn't quite grasp it. But yeah, I've been Lordy MK. I'll see you next week at 4:30. Take care and goodbye.